Hey everyone, this is Nathan here from NQ Productions, and welcome back to NQ Archives. Now for today's episode, we're taking a look back at an animated series that I made back in 2018. A series that tried to recapture the humor and magic from those old 2008 stick figure videos. You know the ones, Stick Figures on Crack, Crazy Stick Figure Randomness, and Astif Movie. And in my opinion, totally failed. Today's episode of NQ Archives is about my Stickmania animated series. And yeah, I'm just gonna get straight to the point with this one. The Stickmania series is bad. Even though each episode of the series has a lot of views, I don't think it deserves it. Mainly because my Stickmania videos for the most part just aren't funny. And that's a big problem for a comedic series like this one. Now, is the series bad because the jokes aren't funny? Is it bad because the kind of humor from 2008 doesn't work in 2023? Is it bad because the visuals make the viewing experience worse? Well, let's find out. Now, to determine how good the episodes of Stickmania are, I've decided to create a point system where I take every single joke in each Stickmania and give it a certain amount of points based on how funny each joke is. If the joke makes me laugh or chuckle, I give the joke 1 point. If it makes me smile but it doesn't make me laugh, I'll give it half a point. And if I feel nothing towards the joke and it doesn't make me laugh or smile, it gets 0 points. I figured by doing this, it makes it much easier to critique the Stickmania series as a whole. Alright, enough talking. Let's critique my Stickmania animated series, starting with... Stickmania 1 was released on August 12th, 2018, and contained 23 jokes, none of which were funny. Okay, that's not actually true. Out of the 23 jokes in the first Stickmania, 5 of them I laughed at, 8 of them made me smile, and 10 of them failed to make me laugh. This gives Stickmania 1 a score of 9 out of 23 points and a rating of 4 out of 10. Yikes. The biggest issue with Stickmania 1, and the main issue with the series overall, is that the jokes either drag on for too long, or the punchline is too easy to figure out. For example, in the button scene, the stick figure pushes an ominous button. Based on how every other joke plays out in the series, you expect something bad to happen. And sure enough, when he presses the button, everything around him explodes. The punchline is too obvious to figure out, and the joke is no longer funny. Way too many jokes in this series play out like that. But luckily, there are some diamonds in the rough. One great example is with the Sparta scene.
This is Sparta!
When you hear the iconic line, you think someone is gonna kick the stick figure off the cliff. But out of nowhere, he grabs the other guy's leg and throws him off the cliff instead. This comedic principle is known as the subversion of expectations, and it's what makes series like Astif Movie work so well. The best kind of humor is the unexpected. Think he's gonna fly forward from the car crash? Nope, he flies backwards. Think he's gonna make the basketball shot? Nope, it breaks the laws of physics, falls straight down, and he misses the shot. Speaking of breaking the laws of physics, another good comedic principle is nonsensical humor, the kind of jokes that just make no sense whatsoever. But because of that, it makes those jokes funny. The car crash example from earlier falls into this category. As you can see, there are some good jokes in Stickmania 1 and throughout the rest of the series, but unfortunately, most jokes aren't like that, resulting in Stickmania 1 being nothing more but a forgettable mixed bag. There are some good jokes in Stickmania 1, but they get overshadowed by the really bad ones. Hopefully, Stickmania 2 has some better jokes in store for us. Stickmania 2 was released just 1 month after Stickmania 1 on September 10th, 2018. What's really funny about Stickmania 2 is that it actually has the exact same amount of jokes as the first episode. And luckily for us, more of the jokes in Stickmania 2 are actually funny. The video got 13.5 points out of 23, giving the animation a 6 out of 10. The biggest improvement with Stickmania 2 when compared to the first one is that there were more jokes that were unexpected and nonsensical. Wow, it's almost like as if those kind of jokes really work like we discussed earlier. Who would have thought? Also, I'm going to say this right now, Stickmania 2 is the best Stickmania out of the 4. It has the funniest jokes, the quality of the video is consistent, and the animation is the best of the 4. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's talk about the visuals of these Stickmania videos. Like with all of my other animations, these videos were done in Microsoft PowerPoint. And for 2018, these animations honestly don't look too bad. The lip syncing is decent, I like the designs of the stick figures, and the character animation is solid. Yeah, some scenes could have been animated much better, but for the most part, the Stickmania series is quite alright when it comes to the visuals. Well, that was nice to see. Stickmania 2 was not only a breath of fresh air, but we also got to talk about the decent visuals of this series. Let's see if Stickmania 3 is just as good as Stickmania 2. And it is! Well, kinda. Stickmania 3, which was released on October 12th, 2018, geez, I'm uploading these things fast, wasn't as good as Stickmania 2, but it was still watchable and decent enough to be considered the second best Stickmania episode in my opinion. Out of the 33 jokes in Stickmania 3, the most of any episode in the series, I found 10 of them to be funny and 14 of them made me smile. Sounds pretty good, right? Unfortunately, 9 duds had to ruin the fun, giving this video a 5 out of 10. And most of those duds were in the middle portion of Stickmania 3. Because of that, the best way to describe Stickmania 3 is like a canyon. A high peak towards the start and the end, dragged down by a huge drop in the middle. Well, that's 3 Stickmanias down, only 1 left to go. Man, I really should have ended this series at number 3. Stickmania 4 is hot garbage and is easily the worst episode of the Stickmania series. This one was released much later than the others on April 12th, 2019, and out of the 33 jokes in this episode, only 6 of them I thought were funny. The others either only made me smile or made me feel nothing. Stickmania 4 ended up getting 12 out of 33 points, giving this animation a 3.5 out of 10. Not only does Stickmania 4 have some of the worst jokes in the series, but it also has the worst visuals in the series. Many of the scenes in Stickmania 4 have very minimal animation, and it's really distracting. This whole series finale just feels like a half-assed sequel that didn't need to happen. But even though Stickmania 4 is god-awful, it did produce the best joke in the entire series. That car scene was comedy gold. Too bad the rest of the episode isn't like that. Well, there you have it, a deep dive into my old Stickmania series from 2018. And as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I did not have a good time revisiting this series. The Stickmania series had so much potential to be great. It could have been something amazing and humorous, something that makes people laugh every time they see it. But instead, it's just a forgettable pile of blah. Despite some funny jokes every now and then and some solid moments in the visual department, that's not enough to save this dud of a series. If I had to rank each episode from best to worst, it would go number 2, number 3, followed by number 1, and then number 4. So, after all this chatting, do I recommend you guys watch this series? No, absolutely not. You're better off with Wild Stick Dudes 1 and 2. Those videos are not only better than Stickmania, but have much better humor, are much shorter animations, that way you don't waste your time watching them, and are much better visually. Go watch that series of stick figure videos instead of Stickmania, a series that tried to bring back the classic stick figure video magic from 2008 and failed miserably at it. Well guys, that's gonna do for this episode of NQ Archives. Now for the next episode, we're luckily gonna take a look at something that's much better than Stickmania, and something that has to do with the Christmas season. That's right, the next animation we'll discuss in NQ Archives is the Chipmunks Christmas Message. Look forward to that episode releasing in December of 2023. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.